Hi guys, and welcome to the second episode of Journey to Journeyman. First of all, I'd like to thank all the viewers for the comments, the kind words. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, there's a couple things I want to touch on some of the comments. Number one is safety. There are some guys out there, when somebody gives them a safety tip, they have to prove that they're a tough guy and they'll do something even more unsafe. That's not me. Thank you so much for the safety tips, and I'll tell you the three things that came up. Number one is long sleeves. I tend to wear this long sleeved coat just to keep my clothes, if I'm in my regular street clothes and I just want to put something on real quick, I won't do that anymore. Number two is the shop towels. I put shop towels down on the lathe. Those can get caught up in the machinery, and I won't do that anymore. And number three, they talked about wearing gloves. Now I do wear the plastic, the nitrile or whatever you call it, but the rubber type gloves. And they said that's okay, because if that really gets caught on something, it'll just rip up, because the gloves are so thin anyway, they'll rip up. But anyway, thank you very much for those safety suggestions, and I really take that to heart. There's no reason for any of us to get hurt doing a hobby. Anyway, lessons learned from the first episode. Number one, be safe. Number two, the drill bit. If you're using a bigger drill bit, you slow your speeds down. I'd seen guys do that, but that was something that would have helped me on drilling that bigger hole, is just to slow the speed down of the bit. Number three, if I could have used a high sulfur cutting oil on those threads, it would have made the threads a lot nicer. They're a little jaggedy looking, but you know, I was a little afraid to use the high sulfur because I am in a basement and my wife has a nose like a bloodhound. So I heard that it had a bad smell. I'll give that a try and see if she smells it, see if it smells up the basement here, and go from there. Also, do not use a big tap on your lathe. You can get it started, but put it in a vise. It has really put a lot of force on there, broke my back gears, broke the bull gear, and that's something that I have to fix. And it loosened up something that you'll see in this episode. And also, the last thing is, it's probably, if you're using your good piece, use soft jaws. Use something in there, because I kind of got the jaw marks on my final part there. So, that's all for the first episode. Now in this episode, what I'm going to make is a drawbar spacer for my collet closer. And the reason I'm doing that, I know I said I was going to do tractor parts first and then parts on here, but I don't have my technique down. And the tractor parts are things that I need, and I need them to work right. So these are less critical parts that I'm making on the lathe. So while I'm getting my technique down, I'm going to do that. And here we go. Oh, wait, I got some parts here for some unboxing, and I really did get a viewer appreciation gift. So let's take a look at that. Guys, I do have a real live viewer appreciation package that came in. I've got a note that says, e-note that says, "Hey Jayster, on your first Journey to Journeyman video, and you seemed a little stumped on the threading bore, so I hope this helps you on your journey." So let's take a look. First of all, thank you. That's absolutely not really expected, and I'm really appreciative. But let's take a look at what this is. No way. No way. I know exactly what this is. The Machinery Handbook, the 20th edition. Awesome. So I've got a Bible, guys. I've got the Bible. There it is. Thank you so much to my viewer David. I appreciate this. I really am. Now I'm going to have to learn how to use it. But thank you very much. Alright guys, you know, in order to be a real journeyman, you've got to have some cool journeyman tools. So I went out and I bought a couple things I'd like to unbox with you. This is the very first thing, and boys and girls, this thing weighs a metric ton. Holy cow, is this heavy. For most of you guys out there who can recognize this, you know exactly what it is. For the rest of you guys, you amateurs just like me, I think you're going to find this pretty cool. So let's get this thing unboxed. Oh, this is cooler than I thought, guys. I thought that this thing was on there, but it looks like the top will come right off. And ta-da! Styrofoam. No, actually, it is a granite surface plate. Woohoo! Check that out, boys and girls. I got it. It's a 12 by 18 granite surface plate. So that's the first thing. I'm going to set that to the side and we're going to continue to unbox. Well, let's just start off real quick. I got this angle gauge from Harbor Freight. Can't remember how much, but it was cheap GI. So I'll get the Harbor Freight first up. It's this thing right here. And also they had some parallels, and I do believe this was 20 bucks, 20 something bucks that is. And they're parallels. So I knew I was going to need some parallels for doing this journey. Okay. Alright, next on the agenda, it's a 0 to 1 inch dial indicator. Take a look, see here. Right. And here she is. I'll show you where I got this online, but it's a 0 to 1 dial indicator. Right. Next up, let's take a look here. What on earth could this be? Let's see here. Oh, dial test indicator. So we got the dial test indicator. Put that over there. And here we have, oh, got some V-blocks with clamps. So here's the V-blocks. Let's see how that looks here. Sweet. Wow, that looks cool, guys. Alright, got a set of V-blocks with the clamps for them. Okay. And next up, let's take a look, see what this is. This is a 7-piece indexable carbide turning tool set. It's a 1/2 inch, and the reason I got this, guys, is I want to see if I can figure out how to turn and cut, and I want to take something out of the equation, which is me grinding the tools. So these should be perfectly ground, and see if I can at least do some cutting while turning. So that's kind of why I bought this set. Right. Next up is, let's take a look, see. Oh yeah, this goes along with this. This goes along with the dial test indicator. So we'll get all this stuff set up. So this is the mag base for the dial test indicator. And now I also bought these 1/4 inch cutting tools, and I'll show you that here, why, here in a second. So I got some cutting tools. And here's the mag base for that first 1 inch dial indicator. And it's one of those ones that can lock into place at any type of setting here. You can lock it. Alright, we'll continue on with let's see. Oh yeah, some squares. I needed some machinist squares, so I got I think it's 2, 3, 4, and 6-inch squares. All right, and we also have some 1, 2, 3 blocks. So pull those out of there. And last but not least is, ta-da, 6-inch heist gauge. That goes with the granite block. So I'm going to see how all of this stuff works. And one other quick thing I'm going to show is this. Now I got this, and it turns out this is the 1/4-inch fly cutting, but I got this from Little Machine Shop online, and that's why I got these cutting bits from Shars to go in there and see if I can learn how to fly cut. So I'm so excited I got all of these tools now. Now, you know, some people have more money than brains, and that's me. And I'm broke, so you do the math. Anyway, I'll show you how all of this stuff looks. So look at all of this cool stuff. Now the hard part. I've got to learn how to use it. But I love this. I mean, this little granite surface plate and all of this stuff is so doggone cool. Honestly, now I really do have to learn how to use this stuff. It's going to be fun. In order to use this this collet holder into the chuck, it needs to have this drawbar. It goes through here and it tightens it up. With all this slack in here, it can't tighten it up, so there's spacers, and this drawbar didn't come with it, so I made one. Now this was back when I was just getting the lathe fixed, and if you look real close, it's pretty much a hack job, but it works. It slides through, and now it allows you to take up the space in here and draw the collet bar. The problem is it doesn't have a little recess in here, and it wobbles around. So I'm going to make, oh, by the way, this is the thread protector that goes on here, and there's just some 1/2-inch stock. So I got a 1/2-inch collet in there. There's the protector. There's 1/2-inch stock. Of course, I wouldn't have it hanging out that far, but anyway, just to show you what I'm doing, here's the protector, the collet holder in position. Now, when we turn this baby on, see there's a big old wobble right there. Now this wobble I'll explain later, but this wobble can be fixed. It just needs to have a recess cut on here so it slides a little bit down in the spindle, and so it doesn't move back and forth. Just a little bit of ridge put on the spindle, and I'll show in a drawing on how I'm going to do that. Now, okay, this is what I'm going to try to make today. It's the spacer for the collet closer, and those are the dimensions, and really the only critical dimension are the 522 thousandths and 375 there, the bore through it, and they're not really super duper critical, but they should be fairly close just to fit. Now my goals on this little project is to start cutting while turning instead of just rubbing metal off, and test out that 6-jaw chuck. Now I came up with an order of operations, and the way I'm going to go that is first I'm going to face off the end, then center drill it, then I'm going to get the major diameter, then the next smaller diameter, then the smallest diameter. Then I'm going to drill it out, cut it off, and then face it off. So let's get started. Okay, here's the stock we're going to start off with. It's a little bigger than 3/4. I do believe that's hot rolled, and we're going to try to make this. So here we go.
Oh man, I know.
So we'll do it like this, and that's 738. Root.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, that'll be our mark.
All right.
Okay, so something's causing chatter. That was pretty nice. So out there's no chatter. Speed's going the wrong way, so I'm going to tune it down a little bit. I see you can still feel that there's a...
Yeah.
It's not, just got to figure out how to do it.
Yep.
So, let's see. This is the tool I just tried, and maybe I'll try this one. But this seems like it's just rubbing metal. It's not really cutting. So we'll see what happens. Well, no luck with the carbide. So we'll try this high-speed steel. Continue on with the trying to get it to cut on the turning. We'll see what happens. Well, it looks like my order of operations may have been out of order. It's going to be very difficult to run a drill down through there with it only biting on so much. So I got to figure out if I want to try it. See how true that's turning. I may try it. I may try that. I might have to pull that out and turn it around to drill. It may be a little bit loose in there. Well, this is the first piece I made, and you can see that there's that record player finish on there. And here is my attempt at making the second one, and it's a fail because now that I got it like this, I can't hold it to cut this down to the right size to fit into the spindle anymore. So I can't really clamp it. So this will be classified as a fail. So I'm going to go back and change the order of operations and see if I can make this thing right. So after the first fail, I had to really take a good look at the order of operations. Revision number 1, which is, well, still going to face it. Then number 2, center drill it. Then number 3, do the small diameter. Then number 4, do the major diameter. Number 5, do that step diameter. Number 6, drill it. Number 7, cut it off. And number 8, face it. Now those diameters that we're talking about, there's a small diameter, there's a large diameter, and that's the intermediate diameter. And so that's going to be the order of operations on revision number 1. Of course. Well, I went out and tried to cut a high-speed tool, and what it is a right-hand turning tool, and I just went online to watch some guys. I tried to put the radius on there correct. It's a 1/4 inch. I know it's not perfect like those guys grind it, but I ground that relief here, the relief here, and the relief here. This is how it looks straight on. But I'm going to give that a try, see if I can get this thing to cut. I'm going to try to cut it this way, right hand turning tool. Guys, that looks amazing. I have to admit. It looks amazing. Well, I found some of the problem, guys. When I was doing that cutoff, I kind of saw some movement. Well, the entire headstock's loose. It probably happened when I was doing that first project and tore up my teeth. So anyway, I'm going to have to take this thing off of there and get the headstock tightened back up. Alright, well, here's a little thing. It snaps right into that little hole there. Got a collet in there. There's the collet spinning. Nice and true right there. Now, that wobble is not anything to do with this. This is dead on true. But what happened is, well, hammer and chisel mechanic that I am, trying to get this out of there, I hit this with a rubber mallet. I didn't realize I had bent it up, so that's off. So I'm either try to bend that back or get a new wheel here. But anyway, project number 1's right here. Project number 2 is right here, and I'm so happy at how that turned out. That turned out beautifully, but it was mainly from polishing, not from machining. Okay, guys, this is still a journey, and here's the deal with being in a journey. I'm not a journeyman by any stretch. I'm a apprentice on my best day, but a lot of lessons learned on this one. Number one, if you've had something break on your lathe, inspect everything else, because it turns out no matter what I did to try to get the chatter out and get a good cut on there, it wasn't working because the head bolts, the bolts for the headstock kept loosening, and I didn't realize that until I got to almost the last step, and I saw the headstock, I saw the piece move, and I couldn't figure out what that was, so I moved it, and sure enough, the doggone headstock had loosened up. So there was no way I was going to get anything, dimensions correct or, a great finish. Although I was able to get the part, actually pretty doggone good. Also, on the fail part, the reason why the hole got bigger, I went undersized on the hole, but it got bigger and too big. And the reason that is because the headstock moved, and also you have to sneak up on dimensions. So make sure you sneak up on your dimensions, because you can't put the material back. You real journeymen know that. And so really be patient. And the last thing is the order of operation is extremely important. This failed piece right here, I could have tried to go back and fix the one part, and I could have bandsawed it off and smoothed it out. However, the little part didn't go down the spindle, so it's a couple thousandths over, and I had already pulled it out. So on the second time, you saw that I pulled the chuck off. So that's something you can do: pull the chuck off to test your part, and then put the chuck back on without having to remove your part. Also, I could have, like I said, I could have probably fixed this second one, but instead of the hole being too big and have a little slop in it, and then try to repair the size of the little recessed part, I just went on and made a whole new part. The dimensions, I changed it just by a little bit, but I'm extremely proud of how it turned out, especially with the handicap of the headstock being loose. I couldn't get that thing to cut to save my life, and now I know why. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This is a journey, and once again, you got to see my good, my bad, and my ugly. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.
You made that?
Yeah. Yep.
What is it?
It's
Hi guys, I got another viewer appreciation package and I'd like to share it with you. Here's a letter that says, Dear Jester 1963, love Journey to Journeyman. Enclosed is a high quality name brand tool and some cash. Let's take a look. Well, here's the tool. Thank you very much. And cash. Wow, that's $10.83. Let's take a close-up look at that cash. Anyway, thank you for the tool and cash. Thank you for watching. See you next time.